Hi, welcome to our Wednesday Ephphatha Bible study. My name is John. I'm the pastor of First United Methodist Church in Mountain City, Tennessee, and Trade United Methodist Church in Trade, Tennessee. Coming to you from a resort in Banner Elk. We were gifted with a few days here, so it's been a nice little getaway. So I thought I would share with you guys from the porch. And I do apologize for the delay and having technical issues all morning. It's hard to have a relaxing retreat when none of your equipment seems to want to work. So I apologize for that. We're going to keep on looking at the wisdom of Solomon. Probably going to wrap that up today. There's a lot of good stuff in here. It's worth looking at. But as a brief reminder, we are talking about the Apocrypha. This is a group of writings, group of books that are part of the Roman Catholic and Eastern Orthodox Bibles. Protestant Bibles like ours don't include these as part of the canon, part of the accepted authoritative teaching, but they are often included for historical purposes and because we can read them and still get some good information, even if we don't treat it as authoritative for our life and practice. Just as another brief kind of overview, we as Christians believe that the person and work and words of Jesus are authoritative for us as far as our rule of life and practice of our faith. And the rest of the New Testament is read through the lens of Jesus. We read the writings of Paul thinking about what Jesus said and keeping that. We read Paul through the lens of Jesus. And likewise, the Old Testament. So if there's a conflict or a discrepancy, we put first priority on what Jesus said or did and what he taught, and then go from there. So these writings in the Apocrypha will be quite a bit on down the list, but that doesn't mean that they're worthless because there's some good stuff in there. We're going to be looking at the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 today. The heading is The Foolishness of Nature Worship. So let's take a look at that. Wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha, chapter 13. For all people who are ignorant of God are foolish by nature, and they were enabled from the good things that exist. Okay, let me start that over, sorry. And you may see the dog popping around. He's checking out, seeing what Daddy's doing. For all people who were ignorant of God were foolish by nature. They were unable from the good things that are seen to know the one who exists, nor did they recognize the artisan while paying heed to his works. But they suppose that either fire or wind or swift air, or the circle of the stars, or turbulent water, or the luminaries of heaven were the gods that rule the world. If through delight in the beauty of these things people assume them to be gods, let them know how much better than these is their Lord, for the author of beauty created them. And if people were amazed at the power and working, let them perceive from them how much more powerful is the one who formed them. I think that's a good thing for us to think about for just a minute. And I think that the key verse or key phrase in this, they did not recognize the artisan while paying heed to his works. It's not hard to look at the wonders and splendors of nature and not be moved and be inspired and be in awe of creation. It can be truly amazing and truly terrifying at times. And throughout the centuries, people have been trying to make sense of the world, trying to figure out how to best live in the world. And in prior times, they assigned meaning to a lot of these things. Meanings, like as it said, fire and wind, swift air, and circle of stars or turbulent water. All these things that we see, they've been trying to find meaning in them. And before Christ, at times, God said that he paid attention to those. But now that Christ has come, we are supposed to pay attention to Christ. Forgive me, we are at the edge of the resort, and there is a highway right behind me through the trees, so I hope it's not causing too much disturbance. But we are to look at nature and pay attention to the one who created it, instead of paying too much attention to nature itself. We are to protect it, to to enjoy it and to give God thanks for the wonders that He has created. All right, let me go ahead and read more. We're in Wisdom of Solomon 13, 13:3. If through delight in the beauty of these things people assume them to be gods, let them know how much better than these is their Lord, for the author of beauty created them. And if people were amazed at their power and working, let them perceive from them how much more powerful is the one who formed them. For from the greatness and beauty of created things comes a corresponding perception of their Creator. Yet these people are little to be blamed, for perhaps they go astray while seeking God and desiring to find Him. For while living among His works, they keep on searching, and they trust in what they see, because things that are seen are beautiful. Interesting. Yet again, not even they are to be excused, for they had the power to know so much, and they could investigate the world. How did they fail to find sooner the Lord of these things? I think that's fascinating. This was written, I don't know how many thousand years ago, this particular book, but how true is that today? We look around and see the beauty of creation and trying to find meaning, trying to find purpose. We sometimes don't go far enough. We sometimes draw the wrong conclusions. Perhaps they go astray while seeking God and desiring to find Him. I think most people have good hearts. They are wanting to do right. They are wanting to know bigger things, greater things. I'm not sure what you would call that, but they are trying to connect with the divine. And there are many beautiful things, sublime things here in creation, and so we are to connect with those. But we don't want to mistake the creation for the Creator. There is a meaning and a purpose and a plan to all of this. Now, we won't get into this. This isn't the time for the discussion about God plans everything. We'll save that for a little bit later. But there is definitely a design at work, the way things intertwine. And just as all things tend to disorder, I think that's the second or third law of thermodynamics, entropy always increases. It's preposterous to me to think that all of these interconnected, intertwined things and systems in creation around us just assembled itself from nothingness. So I think it's more important that we look at creation and study it and understand it so that we can better fit within it and glorify the God who created it. We have been given dominion. Let's see, that was elsewhere. We've been given stewardship of creation, and we have found out that we have the power to destroy it if we're not mindful of using it properly. So I think good stewardship, good worship of God entails taking care of creation. So this passage, or this half of the chapter, really sort of jumped out at me as how pertinent it is today, how relevant it is today, because this is certainly an ongoing issue, an ongoing challenge, how to appreciate and understand the world around us without failing to give credit to God. So I hope you will take some time and enjoy creation and always give thanks to the God who creates it. We will see you next week, and I think we may go ahead and do another bit of the Apocrypha, Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus. It looks kind of interesting, so we may spend a little bit of time with that. But as always, if you've got a question or comment, shoot me an email, and we will be glad to take a look at those. But until then, take care, God bless you, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.